Hello and welcome to another episode of Rallying the Forge. I'm Solimer, and we just have a relatively short video, hopefully for you. We're going to touch on ongoing events, upcoming events. We'll dig a little bit into the Creature Chaos Mages event. We're going to talk about the Immortal's Draw and just a little bit of a sneak peek of what's coming for that. And then we will talk about the Gamefound campaign as well. So we have nothing in the client here. As you can see, nothing going on. No updates for that. No events going on in game. Expected, right? And then, so let's jump into ongoing events. I get to Chrome. All right. Okay. Excuse me. Been a little under the weather. Recovering from that. Apologize for any coughing. So we have 4 events ongoing. These are about to wrap up for most of these. Phantom Clash July. Been stuck in round 3 for a few weeks now. Hopefully that gets resolved soon and we get the 4th round done relatively quickly. Might run into next month's Phantoms at that rate. The Bronze Crucible, the first one, has 2 matches left, and then that'll be finished. The second Bronze Crucible has 1 match left, and then that one will be done. And then Divergence League is in its 4th and final round. Traveler played his final match. He won, so he will finish first. And we have a host of other players competing for 2nd and 3rd place in that. So we'll see how that shakes out as more matches get played. All right. So that is ongoing events currently. Excuse me. Sorry. Upcoming events. We have the Bembalado event that TCG Jeff is running. That'll probably start by the time this video is out. We have ML Van B's free-for-all events rather. Friday and Sundays. U.S. Eastern time, that is. Might be different in your part of the world. We have, for next month, the Bronze Crucible times 3. We have a best of 1, a best of 3, and a best of 1 silver edition, so you can use silver decks if you choose. We have the Immortal's Draw, which is a free sealed event. Free. Everyone's pretty much going to get a booster for participating and a booster for participating, more or less. We also have Divergence League Season 2. It'll be the 2nd and final version of this one, assuming Set 5 gets released on time. Set 5 will change the format a little bit. We're still working out those kinks. Dreadforge Competitive Circuit number 5, still taking signups. Could kick off anytime. And then, of course, we have the qualifier coming up in October 3rd. So make sure you sign up for that if you want to qualify for Worlds in January. So the Bronze Crucible, I want to encourage everyone to sign up for events if you're participating. So the Bronze Crucible has its own little leaderboard. It's not updated for August yet because those events haven't finished. As they finish, we'll update these standings. This is the only event ran for Bronze Crucible in July. So we will have 2 more events added. And then we'll have also September's events will get added to this list as well. And then the first place person that is not me will get $75 worth of Embers or SFG. Second place will get 50, and third place will get 25. So, obviously, if you're participating this month, you'll want to participate next month as well to get up those standings and win some Embers and whatnot, which you'll get just after Set 5 releases, so you'll be able to purchase some Set 5 with those winnings if you want. Okay. So that's the ongoing events. I wanted to show... I got to pull up another sheet document here. Excuse me. I have to copy and paste some stuff real quick. I need to expand this. This is going to be an example of what the list could look like. Kind of ridiculous. I also need to... I'm going to need another one. Okay. With my horrible spelling. Oy, oy, oy. Okay. So, the Immortals draw. I apologize for all the ads on screen. By the way, not going to be anything I can do about it. So, as an example, we're going to have a wheel of player names of everyone participating in the Immortals draw. And we'll just shuffle it up. And then we will spin. And we'll be like, well, player 1. And then we will go over to here. That has all of the different boosters I have codes for. You see, it's quite a few. But some of these are also earmarked for things like the qualifier and whatnot. So, and then we will see what set they're going to get. We're going to do this live on stream when we do it, though. In this case, they would get Set 4. We remove it. And then we'd go back and spin for the next player and the next player and so on. And then everyone's going to have a booster assigned, and this list is going to stay what it is. And then what's going to happen is people are going to have a period, excuse me, at least 24 hours to post in the chat for the Immortals draw if they would like to use their mulligan, or whatever we want to call it, where either they can redraw what booster they get. They could get the same booster, by the way, or they can force someone else to redraw. So let's say I got the Set 4 and someone else wants to make me redraw it. They can say that, and then what's going to happen is I'm going to redraw. And now I got, oh wow, Set B1, which is dinosaurs. So now I'm getting a dino booster. Now, I also have a mulligan, and I'll have to have decided if I'm going to have used mine on myself or someone else. And then, you know, we'll spin off as as it's supposed to be or whatever, and we'll go through, and everyone's gonna get what their final booster is, and I'll send out the codes to everybody, and then they'll have time to make their decks and play their matches. And the event, depending on how many players sign up, will determine how long the rounds are and how many rounds we go. The shortest I think we were going to have would be 5 days per round if we had a bunch of people sign up, if we had the maximum. If we don't have the maximum, then it'll be more days, less rounds. But we'll see how that ends up working out. And yeah, so that's kind of how that's going to work for the Immortals draw. So if people are wondering how that's going to work, that's the general gist of it. All right, so now let's jump into Creature Chaos. And only my match with Namrog is done so far in round 1. As more matches are done, we will update the list. We have my sheet of results. So we had a very good, this is the same sheet, I guess. This is the results sheet. For players with 5 bonus points, they had a really good first round. They won their matches. Traveler actually has 5 bonus points. My sheet was not counting his Nyx Nekia Spellweaver. So that was a good find, so I was able to correct that. I had that in there incorrectly marked. I had parentheses, I think, instead of a comma or something like that. So I corrected it. So basically, I wanted to play out, now that we know the matchups, how this is going to work, what's going to qualify and not qualify, right? So we do have Traveler versus Jeff, and then we have Red Eyes versus Carl. So let's go with the non-5-point players winning in this case. We had Namrog and myself, which were both 5-point players, playing against each other. But let's do it this way, and then for the rest of these, it's just kind of random how we'll go. I don't think it matters the order how we do it. Let me look at the matchups real quick. Anovis, he won and he lost. FK Rotes and Tofa. Oh, that was Macbeth. Rated you lost 2 though. And Tofa won, and then he beats Bryce. Okay, that works out. Okay, so this would be the current standings after. I could probably zoom in too so you guys can see it better. Is that too much? That's probably better. Okay. Current standings after 2 rounds of what it could look like if Red Eyes and Jeff win their match. So it's important because they're not 5-point players. We're going to run this back several times. And then we would likely have myself versus one of them. So the 5-point players, of course, as we know, have the advantage of if they finish with 11 points, they have a good chance to potentially make a cut. Having that two losses and being able to make the cuts, almost like a cheat code with it. But it's how the events worked out. So I'm already at the 11. And that bodes well for the 5-point players. So let's say Red Eyes beats me, right? We'll have Jeff winning versus Carl. Namrog will beat Travel. We're just going straight down on the list here. Okay. So now we have... I want the total points. So now we have someone with 12 points, 3 people with 11 who would qualify. These players at the bottom in red would be eliminated, and it does, the names don't matter. It's just random ordering how it's working out. It's all about the bonus points. A player with 2 bonus points who's 1 and 2 after 3 rounds is eliminated, is what it's saying. And then now we'd have our 4th round matches, right? So they would want it might not matter. Let me look here. Now I already faced Namrog in this case. I just wonder... So if 2 5-point players would have to replay here that wasn't someone who already played, that would make 11-point players lose out. If it was, in this case, me and Namrog, because we've already played, we would get potentially 2 non-5-point players. If that happened, even if we lost, we would still qualify. So you would have 7 people, which I think was the max we determined could really be qualify with these numbers. 7 players could potentially qualify here. So for the 5 bonus point players, going 2 and 2 is not the end of the world. Now, if we go back to this point, and we had 2 different players playing, right? And then Cutie Hammer, which is Antofa, because he's a 3 bonus point player, if he won, he now eliminates all other uh, 11-point players. In that case, only 1 5-point player gets qualified because he goes 3 and 1, and 2 and 2 does not make it. So you're looking at the 2 3 bonus point players and a 2-point bonus point player making the top. And of course, one of the 5-point players at this juncture is likely going to go 3 and 1. At least one of them. Can I just undo this to the point where we're there? So that's where we're at right now. So now let's change it. If I were to beat Red Eyes and Jeff were to win, once again, 11-point players. And then you'd have in the 4th round, the non-5-point players would want Jeff to win because it pushes potentially 11-point players out of the running. And then they'd want Red Eyes to win still. And then again, in this case, Antofa could eliminate. And you have the same. So basically, it really is coming down to Antofa, Red Eyes, and Jeff. So this is the current state of things. So Red Eyes and Jeff, if Carl and Peter win, okay, let's do it that way. And then we just do it that way. And then you potentially have where they're going to knock each other out. And basically, I think that guarantees the 11-point players a spot. So because this match would have no effect on anything. Carl, win or lose, he could keep Red Eyes out, essentially, by winning. And it's going to make anyone who gets 11 points, well, they're going to be in anyway. Because if he loses, they're still going to, whoever gets to that point wins. Namrog would need to win a second match, having lost potentially to 2 5-point players. If Namrog didn't get matched there, I wonder if... Well, I think the 5-point players, no matter what, are going to have somebody at 11, more than likely. Someone above 11 and someone at 11. At least one of them will be at each spot. And then it's going to determine... so 11 is going to be the lowest that gets in. There's nothing below 11 getting in. It's just going to be a matter of, is it the 5-point players taking up all the spots, or do the 3-point and 2-point players get in? So if you are a 3-point or 2-point player, and I'm on the actual standings page, I gotta be careful so I don't screw it up. Obviously 2 losses is going to knock out anyone except for the 5-point players, but these second wins here are going to be very important for these 3- and 2-point players here for Jeff and Red Eyes. Trying to think here, because they're split, they probably want really only one of the 2 to win and the other one to lose, so that way you have a better or more likely chance, based on the pairings I've seen in the past, you have a better chance that the 2 5-point players will play each other. But they would still potentially face off against other 5-point players, which in that case could be good if they beat them. If they don't, though, that really hurts them, because the more... It really comes down to... Because Jeff can only get to, unless he goes undefeated, he can only get to 11 points if he gets a loss. So he just falls in line with the other 5-point players. It's really Red Eyes and Antofa. If Jeff just goes... Let's duplicate this sheet real quick here. So let's just fill this out. If Jeff goes 3-1, is there ever a situation, right? Why isn't it marking anybody? What did I do wrong? I don't know what I did. Must have been a matter of how many wins. Must be based on the wins. That's okay. And then the fourth round, it wouldn't matter for this one. But this one matters, right? Yeah. Oh, I wonder. He would have to face him potentially. And then, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, I think no matter what, if Jeff loses a match, 11 points makes it. So I think the odds are extremely high that I can probably turn that green now. 12 is going to make it. $11's still in the bubble, but once Jeff loses a match, 11 points is in, guaranteed. So this will be the first time. Is it the first time we've had 11 points make it? I'm not positive. But 11 points is very likely to make the cut for this. So if you are in the running, you want to get your 11 points. So the pressure's on for for Rusty, for Bryce, for Novis, for Radiju, for Antofa, for Jeff, for Red Eyes, and Carl, Namrog, and Peter only need to get one more win along the way. And they are likely safe as long as Jeff loses a match. Even if Antofa and Red Eyes win out, they only eat 2 of the spots, and after that, because no one else has 3 bonus points. The most points anyone can get if Jeff loses a match will be 11. So really good odds for the 5-point players here. I'll have to look back and see. Maybe pull that up real quick. See if any of the previous events had that happen. All right, switch back. All right. So this is Warriors. It was 12 points and up, which was really tough to make. We had Scientist. Look at that, 14 points and up made it. 3-1 didn't even cut it. You had to go 4-0 with Scientist or 3-1 with 5 bonus points. That is crazy difficult. And then Dinosaurs was still 12 and up. But there was a tie because we had so many 3-point players. And we only had 3 players go above the 3-1 record. We had 2 who were those bonus points. So you can see the 2 and 3 undefeated. And then we had a 5 bonus point player make it. But then you have 3 3-1s who made it as the 4th players. So 11 points didn't make it for these 5 bonus point players. They didn't make the cut. And this one as well was really tough. The 12-point players didn't make the cut. That's really, I don't want to say heartbreaking, but definitely stings a little bit to do so well. 3-1 out of, win 3 out of 4 matches is pretty good. But not make the cut because 2 5-point players. If one of the 5-point players, I'd have to look back at the matchups, but if one of them just went 2-2, well, then they don't make it, but 2 other players would have made it instead, interestingly. So, and then, of course, the Warrior event, pretty tough crowd. So, gosh, really lucky to have made it there. 3-1. At least 3-1s made it. All the 3-1s made it that time. And then you have this one where it's looking like 11 points are going to make it, and we could have 7 players make it. This one had 3, 6. This one had 7. This one had 4. And this one had 4. Hey, I highlighted the first column in these. I didn't highlight the column in these. I must have changed the script to not count the first column. Interesting. I changed it, I guess. Yeah, so that is Creature Chaos. I'm probably talking about it way too much, more than I anticipated. But I wanted to make people aware of what's going on with it. So then lastly, to finish off the episode, this was all I had for events and whatnot going on. Nothing else going on in game. The other thing is Gamefound campaign has been shipped to a lot of people. Some people have already received their stuff. Some people haven't even got their tracking info like me. I have 2 packages coming. The question is, what are the minions we are getting? So, Gamefound exclusive minions. Follow the campaign. Receive a set of exclusive minions when you back. They will not be available anywhere else. It's their way of saying thanks for joining us early and supporting the next chapter of SolForge Fusion. So I'm curious what the minions are and looking forward to receiving them with my pledge. My 2 pledges, technically. So if anyone has them and wants to share images, I am all about that. So feel free to share what you got. Or when I get them, we will show them on stream and probably in a video when I get them. But I have not got any notifications yet. I'm really anxious. I'm going to be opening all my boosters on stream, a handful at a time. I'm not going to do all of them at once. It'll be a marathon episode if that was the case. Not going to happen. So, all right. That's all I've got. So thanks for sticking around. This episode went a little bit longer than I thought, but I talked a lot during the mage stuff, so I apologize for that. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Feel free to leave me a comment on anything that you want to leave a comment about. Always looking forward to what people have to say and think, so let me know. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time, hopefully with some news about something. So, see you later.